What's up, everybody? Welcome into a new episode of the Rapala We Are Collegiate Bass Podcast. This week, rolling out an article feature series highlighting the teams ranked in the top 25 at the end of the 23-24 race for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Recently had Montevallo on, talking about their fourth straight title, winning it for the last 4 straight years. The Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. This year, the second place team, University of North Alabama, made a charge late in the spring, earned a season total of 36,355 points, outgained third-ranked Carson Newman by 135 points to finish the year ranked second in the national ranking system. We're joined today by Nathan Reynolds, Dylan, and Carter Nutt, as well as Preston Kolisek. Guys, let's go ahead and bring Nathan in first here to get the conversation started. Nathan, question for you. Finishing the year in second, you'll have to put together a strong charge here at the end. Talk about what it means for the team to be able to finish the year in that number 2 spot.
Definitely. Last year, we had some fortune throughout the season, and we're able to land in that top 10. Always a goal for us is to just improve off the last year and ultimately get better, and we're proud to say that's what we did. It's big for the school. It reflects well on the sponsors and the team support. We're all happy to have that late in the season charge and move us up the leaderboard.
Yeah, a late charge it was, helped in part by 3 top 25 finishes at the Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship presented by Bass Pro Shops at Pickwick Lake. At last time we would have talked to members of your team, it would have been Dylan and Carter, the winners of that tournament, the ACA's National Championship event. So Dylan, real quick, the last time we talked to y'all had won the National Championship. The team was getting ready to go up north to go to Michigan and try and get valuable points to be able to make that move that was possible. We talked about it. There was a chance that if y'all had a good showing and took care of business, you might be able to move up into second, not track down Montevallo, but for sure move up one place with a good showing. You guys were able to do it, edging out Carson Newman by just 135 points. Dylan, talk a little bit about kind of that down-to-the-wire finish and just a small margin being able to claim second place.
It was pretty awesome to be able to have that late season charge and then go up there up north and get the job done. But it was pretty cool, especially for Carter and I. We'd never been up there before, so it was a really cool experience to go up there, and it was a big learning experience. And hopefully we'll be able to use some of that knowledge next year to maybe get the School of the Year title, bring it back to Florence.
Carter, similar question for you. The unknown going into that week up there in Michigan, you weren't sure. You knew what you needed to do and how many points you needed to earn, but how that was going to play out and take shape, you did not know. Talk a little bit about the nerves leading into that week, as well as following the event, being able to know that the hay was in the barn and now you had to see where the points were going to stack up.
Really, we didn't have a whole lot of nerves going into that event. It was we were all more excited than anything just to go up there, because for a lot of us it was our first experience up north and fishing those Great Lakes smallmouth fisheries, and it was a great experience. The waves got pretty gnarly out there, and it made it kind of treacherous to go to where we were fishing, but it was to be able to go up there and get 2 solid finishes and edge out Carson Newman for second. That was our goal. We knew that we weren't going to be able to catch Montevallo. They had a pretty demanding lead, but to be able to edge out Carson Newman and finish second, that was the goal, and we got it done.
Preston, same question for you before we do another round here. Let's talk a little about yourself, just kind of the emotions of the entire season to be able to finish in second, something that maybe y'all didn't think was possible just a few months ago. You've been able to achieve it and accomplish that. Talk to your emotions and thoughts about UNA finishing second in the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia.
Yeah, it's super awesome that we were able to finish second. It's a shame we couldn't get first, but I think the highlight of the year for us was Carter and Dylan bringing home the natty on our home lake. It was really, really, really cool. And next year I think we have a great shot at winning first place and being there with Montevallo.
Yeah, it's going to be the goal for everybody going into this next year to have a shot at winning the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. We've got a clean slate. Points are wiped back to 0, and we're in that new season already for the 24-25 chase. We'll have more information on our website. You can see all the qualifying events and points earning opportunities there at collegiatebasschampionship.com. before we talk about next season, let's talk about the one that just played out real quick. Nathan, yourself, man, take me back to this time last year, and as we're preparing for the 23-24 chase at the time, kind of y'all's anticipation, your emotions and expectations for this past year, leading up to that season. What were y'all thinking and what were you hoping to accomplish?
Absolutely. So I guess we could call our first year a trial run. We kind of got a feel for it, got a feel for what it was going to take, and definitely learned a lot as well, and that's an important part. So we kind of took what we learned, got our first year jitters out of the way, and just really just went fishing, and kind of with that calm mentality over us, we kind of just let things play how they might. There was definitely some nerves to try and do better than we had our first year, but just kind of fishing with a peace of mind and allowing things to develop as they may was the biggest player in our year.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like in talking with y'all that there weren't any nerves in Michigan. You were just kind of seeing where things played out. That allows you to fish a little more freely. You hear about, different, whether it's at the higher level and the Angler of the Year opportunities, but when you can get, or even in golf, I always like to use analogies like that, but when you can win or do something well early, it helps settle the nerves and makes everything else the rest of the year easier from there on out. And that's something that y'all did a good job of at the Bass Pro Shops Big Bass Bash presented by Berkeley, which leads me to my next question for Dylan. For you guys, speaking to that same tune of kind of being able to settle in, not have a lot of pressure on you, and just go out and take care of business. You guys did that at the Bass Pro Shops Big Bass Bash presented by Berkeley at Kentucky Lake. You and your brother both brought in some good fish, won some prizes, and I believe had a top 10. Just talking off the top of my head there. But talk a little bit about that first ACA double points of the year. Y'all came out and made a nice statement, and that kind of set a tone for what ended up playing out over the next 10 months.
Yeah, that was an awesome tournament to start the year off with for us. Especially because we were able to qualify for that for the Boat US National Championship in the first tournament, and that was one that all of us had circled on our calendars, especially all the UNA boys, because we fish Pickwick all the time, and we just wanted to have a chance to get out there and compete in the national championship. But at the Big Bass Bash, I mean, we didn't think we knew we were around some big fish, but we didn't really know the quality, and that was awesome to be able to get a top 5 finish there, just to set the pace for the year.
A good start there in September with the ACA at Kentucky Lake. Season progresses, things continue to move and build, and UNA moves up in the rankings. Got a good shot in the arm to start the spring swing in January, fishing at the Harris Chain in Florida. Dylan and Carter got a victory there. Like I said, good points earning opportunity, double points there with the MLF event, gets that spring season going. Carter, talk a little bit. We just talked to Dylan about getting the season started off on a good note. Now we're in the middle of it, and you guys are able to kind of get another shot in the arm and get things moving in the right direction. Talk about that victory, and maybe did that play a role in kind of springboarding this whole push for the spring?
I think that really it started in the fall, our push. That our whole goal the whole season was to be in contention for School of the Year, knowing that the championship and that triple points event was on Pickwick. Our main goal was to stay near the top and be in contention, because we knew, that we could most likely get, 3 boats to finish pretty high at that tournament, and that, we could gain a lot of points back. But that to start off the year, the first tournament, and to get the win down there on the Harris Chain, that was a huge boost for all of us, just to have the first major event that has been won by UNA in a number of years. It was really just a great morale boost for the whole team, and just got everyone fired up and ready for the rest of the season.
As we progress through the season, we talked about the Bass Pro Shops Big Bass Bash presented by Berkeley. Middle of the season, Dylan and Carter with the victory at the MLF. Harris Chain College Series there. And then we move to the end of the season. Preston, I want you to kind of expand on something you touched on in your first answer, man. Talk a little bit about that week, observing what your teammates did at Pickwick Lake. The goal, it sounds like, from this time last year until just a couple weeks ago was for UNA to have as many teams at Pickwick Lake as possible, located in the hometown of the university in Florence, Alabama, is to get as many teams as possible there and to do as best as y'all could, which is what happened. Had 3 teams in the top 25. I think there was the third highest finishing team. If they'd have caught one more fish on the first day, they might have been in even better shape because they only brought in 4, I believe. Just kind of talk a little bit, Preston, and expand on, seeing your teammates get that victory and everything that occurred there at McFarland Park. Just kind of put into words the end and conclusion of the season for the ACA towards that Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia race. What that couple days there meant.
Everybody on our team that was fishing that tournament was extremely fired up to be in it and excited to be there and fish it and give it their all. And I think all of our teams laid it on the line and they knew what was capable of it, what the points meant, and I think everybody had a blast and everybody laid it out there on Pickwick, and it was fun, and we got the win on our home lake, and that's what we were really looking for because we knew the ACA Natty was going to be there. That was our main goal this year. That's knew how we were going to make it possible to do as good as we could.
We're talking with Nathan Reynolds, Dylan and Carter Nutt, as well as Preston Kolisek, members of the second-ranked University of North Alabama bass fishing team, finished the 23-24 campaign in second for that Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. A couple cool notes we'll hit on here in a minute as we progress through this last round of questions, let these guys go about their day. But Nathan, real quick, man, you guys are going to be juniors this upcoming year. In your time there at school, you've put in a lot of effort. Y'all have hinted about it in your responses here so far today to be able to get the team where you're at. I think a couple years ago in the preseason poll or maybe one of the end-of-season ranking reviews that we did, I reached out to the team and asked a couple questions. And one of the things was, hey, we haven't really – one of the responses we got from the team was we haven't really lived up to the standard that the team has established in the past 10 years or so. UNA – just a few years back was one of few teams to have won this title 2 times. Y'all will be looking for your 3rd title this next season to get into that company. But y'all have won the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia and maybe taken a bit of a dip. Club might have fallen off a little bit. Participation numbers weren't quite there, but you guys are trying to build it up. Talk real quick about your time there going into your 3rd year, the progression and growth of the team since 2021-22.
Sure. Fishing at any level has its ebbs and flows. You look at some of the greats of the sport, arguably the greatest ever, Kevin Van Dam. I think this statistic is he's won less than 5% of the tournaments he's fished, which is it just speaks to all of fishing in general. Ebbs and flows, maybe we were on a downward trend before we got here, but, it flowed right back up and we've been able to ride the momentum since then. Obviously going into this season, we have high hopes. There's nothing more that we would want than to bring that trophy home, and we know now that that we are capable of it. All it is now is putting in the work and letting the cards, show themselves at the end of the year.
I like some good data and statistics, so I'm going to throw this out there too because I found an interesting Roger Federer. If you're not familiar, big-time tennis player. He did the commencement speech for an Ivy League school, I think Dartmouth, a couple weeks ago. And in his speech, something you hit on there and talking about success and failure and that fine line and the margin of victory and maybe the minimal amount of success you have, but how it translates over a career. I believe in that, he said he won 80% of his matches, but in those matches that he won, he only won like just over 50% of the points. And so when you think about that, one lost point, in this case, one lost fish or one bad event, that can be the difference in you're right here at the top of the rankings and you're down there at 10th or 15th. That's a cool perspective because this is a year-long race and the magnitude of that over the course of a year, you don't think about it, but hosting bonus points for a school run tournament or one fish here or a late penalty there, when you're talking 135-point margin at the end of a season, that can be wiped away with just one of those things breaking your way or being something that ends up hindering you along the way. Dylan, real quick, just kind of talking to that, man, the 12-month race and this chase that is the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia, just speak to the nature of it starting, it started now and it's going to end next May at Lake Hartwell, but that chase and the grind, there's different things that factor into it, and it can all add up to your success or failure at the end of the day as a team.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody just has got, as long as there's 100% effort. I think our team's going to have good success because we got a bunch of good fishermen, and you put them on a body of water that's got some fish, somebody's going to catch them. So I'm excited to get the new season rolling, and we'll see where we're sitting this time next May, and down there at Lake Hartwell, and hopefully we'll be at the top again.
Talking about next season, you guys said you're not losing any members of this past team, so everybody that contributed this past season will be back this upcoming year, as well as I assume anyone that transfers in or freshmen as well that makes their way on campus there at UNA. Carter, talk about that a little bit, knowing that you have that consistency carrying over, of which that's not something that's very common, I don't think, for a major club like you guys, student-ran organization, to be able to have basically everybody coming back, no one's leaving, plus who knows what you're about to add. Talk a little bit about just kind of the makeup of the team going into this next year and how that might benefit y'all.
Right. So we've been a very young team. Whenever all of us right now are rising juniors. But whenever we got to UNA our freshman year, I believe there's only about 6 boats that would travel to each tournament, and there was 15 people in our freshman class. And then this year as well, our freshman class had another 15 people, and I'd assume we're probably going to have another 15 people come in this next year. And so our team is growing, but we're very young, and to be able to keep everyone, pretty much every year. I mean, we're not losing anyone this year. And, we'll lose very, very few people after this next season. But just to be able to stay together for a long period of time and all fish together for 4 years, since our freshman year, I mean, we've all grown a tremendous amount as anglers, and we've all become best friends traveling together. And it's been an experience that I wouldn't trade for anything. I mean, to be able to travel and fish college tournaments, and, not just making buddies on the team, but, making buddies from all over the place on all these other different teams. It's really cool. And the camaraderie that comes with it, it's a great experience.
Not to mention that continuity and consistency across the club is only going to help give you guys possible advantage. As you fish more college tournaments, y'all are working together as a team, coming together in that sense, as well as gaining valuable knowledge at these fisheries as we go to across the country each year. That's going to help. You get out and build success and find success like y'all been doing since you were freshmen, and you figure it out and you start to learn the ropes, and as the team grows, so too will the success, as this has shown so far as y'all just capped off a second place finish this season. Preston, finished this year in second. Obviously, I could probably just about tell you what your answer is going to be to this next question, but I want to hear it from you in your own words. What are the goals this upcoming year, and what does the University of North Alabama hope to accomplish as it pertains to that Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia for the 24-25 season?
For the next season, we're definitely planning on trying to get first and beating Montevallo out of it. Dylan is our recruiter for this year, and he's done a great job recruiting new people in and good fishermen coming to UNA, and I don't think anything's going to stop us between us and first next year.
That's a bold statement. Got to get out on the water and back it up for sure, guys. We've been talking with Nathan Reynolds, Dylan Nutt, Carter Nutt, and Preston Kolisek from the University of North Alabama. Just capped off a second-place finish for the 23-24 Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia, and have their sights set on a possible victory in 24-25, of which, if they're able to do so, would give them their third title in the college fishing's only all-encompassing national ranking system. That would put them in company by themselves as they currently sit with McKendree for having 2. That would put UNA in second for having 3 titles, of which Montevallo has 4 and has the record at the moment. Guys, thanks for joining us here on the call today. We'll look forward to seeing you all on the trail out this fall. Enjoy the summer, and we'll talk to you guys soon down the line.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having us. Look forward to it.
Welcome to Minnow King. How can I help you?
Everything looks good. I'm friggin' starving, man. Been spawning all morning.
Ugh, TMI, bro. What do you want?
I'll take a Crush City freeloader and gizzard shad.
Anything to drink.
Water.
Pull ahead, please. Welcome to Minnow King.
We're gonna have what he's had.
Yeah, throw me in a net BLT too.
Pull ahead, please.
Calm down, quit feeding him so much.
Hey, man, I'm trying to, man. If you
If you overfeed him, he's gonna hide under a log.